Hello and welcome to this Xbox Life episode 303 Beta. I am one of your hosts, Brun, BJ Swick33, and with me this week is Resar.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rob, also known as Presar on Xbox Live, and everything sounded good on the audio except you're a little soft, Brun.
I am a little soft.
Being being the softy that you always are, and I have no idea what I sound like.
uh, just my audio went really crazy when we had a power outage about a couple hours ago, and it screwed up everything. So we'll have to see what it does. Hopefully, I'm a little bit louder. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. So I can check my recording devices, and the meter is going just fine. So hopefully the audio is fine. We're gonna have to rely on some of our listeners to let us know for sure. So again, this week, Wingman 709 is not with us. He will be out this week, but he will be back next week. And obviously, in his place for his picture, I have another Air Force jet this time because Brun was a dummy and put Navy jets in there last time. So, but they were the Blue Angels. I will say that those guys are pretty awesome, just like Wingman 709. But the aircraft I have in there is also awesome. So,
There you go.
yeah. And, the amount of I got messages on Xbox, on Xbox Live, people were all in a chat where where's Wing, where's Wing, where's Wing, and everybody was nervous, like thinking we might have kicked him off the show or something. He is still with us. He's on family doing family stuff, but man, people love the Wingman 709. So
How can you not? Come on.
yes, but I heard, I spoke to him, and he said if you loved him so much that one thing you would do is go out to Amazon.com or thisxboxlife.com/Amazon and purchase all of your Amazon needs straight from that link. Or
That's
go to the
right.
site and click on Amazon because as much as you love the show and as much as you love Wingman, that helps us out so we can share the love back out to all of you and give away cool stuff. So,
That's right. That's right.
yes.
Well said, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Um, well, this week, Rob, is funny. It's like Wing leaves for the couple weeks, and we get like two of the easiest weeks. Now, well, here's the thing. It's not actually easy because when the weeks are slow and there's very little news, it's actually harder on us because then we're like, oh no, what do we talk about? What do we do? But it's like we've had two of the like smallest weeks possible when it comes to gaming news.
Yeah, it's
So
the summertime, not doldrums, but things get kind of slow right before back to school. Right before they get all fired up again
right.
for the holiday season.
So, and of course, we started the show, and right when we started the show, packet drops. It's dropping packets like crazy, and so it should be up and running now. Everything should be good. We are live. Have to wait for the people to hopefully
We're alive,
flood
even
in.
though the episode number is wrong. Pay no attention to that number.
What? What's
It's all about the details. All about the details, man. It's episode
Oh,
303, not
jeez.
302. But that's
How?
okay. Wing didn't notice.
Oh, he notices everything that I do
I
wrong.
know.
So it's been updated.
I
So when the people come in, it will say 303. So everything's good.
okay.
Ah, so he's just going to give me all sorts of crap. And the putting the show together is not easy. I can say it does take some
No,
time.
it takes a
And
lot of time. I got to hand it to him. I mean, Wing does a fantastic job every week.
yep. So
So that the prima donnas like Rob and Brun can just walk in and go, okay, we're ready to record.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But without cutting some time in to set up the show this week, I did get to do some gaming. But I want to hear what you did first. So
All right.
what have you been playing?
All right. The only thing that I've really been playing over the past week has been Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 4. I was, let's see, I don't want to say I wasn't really looking forward to this, but I've just been kind of bored with some of the Telltale games lately. After coming in really strong and being really intense on season one of The Walking Dead, and then season two starting off really strong, it kind of petered out a little bit, along with The Wolf Among Us. But I can happily say that episode four was pretty good. It still had that it filled you with anxiety. You didn't know what was going to happen, and there were some really tough decisions. And I really think that that's what makes these games, because in the episodes where I thought it was getting kind of dull, that kind of went away. It was more storyline, and it was more just like really basic stuff. And I think when you think Walking Dead, you think Telltale, you think of like horrible stuff happening, tough decisions. There is no right answer to anything. You're gonna piss somebody off. Somebody's gonna die regardless of what you choose. And we're kind of back in that vein a little bit with episode four. And there was a part in episode four that really reminded me of the last season of The Walking Dead. Right? Actually, I don't remember if we're in between seasons or if we're on that summer break. Do you watch the TV show, Brun?
Yes, we're on a break.
Okay, so
So
it's the mid-season break then.
no, it's actually the end of the season. Well,
Okay, the end of the season.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So the new season is starting
yeah.
coming up.
Okay, so they start the seasons in the fall, then they do that break in
Yeah.
around New Year's. Okay,
Yep.
but you remember that one? You remember that one episode with, oh, what's her name? Ruth?
Whoop.
Was that her name? That one lady with the short hair that had the daughter. Was that it?
Um.
Anyway,
I'm
Carol. Carol. No, not
okay.
It was
Well,
Carol, not
well,
Ruth.
Carol's the person that had the daughter that was in the barn. Is
Yeah,
that what we're talking
yeah,
about? Yeah.
yeah. So Carol was with these two girls, and she had a tough decision to make.
Yeah.
Do you remember that episode?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, something similar happened.
Oh.
I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah. Don't ruin
Maybe
it.
that was
Shh,
too
I haven't
much. Yeah,
played.
but
No.
that's the kind of decisions that make the show really good. And it's I can't say that it's a fantastic episode, like 5 star. I'd give it a solid 4, definitely, which is good.
Cool.
So that's about it for me. How about you? What have you been up to?
Well, a couple things. I played Battlefield 4, of course. It was double XP weekend. I'm up to level 1, hit 113 today, I think. 113.
Wow.
Yep. And then also I jumped on to the Destiny beta.
Okay.
So the Destiny beta was live for everybody on all 4 consoles. So I jumped on that, played a little bit of it. Excuse me.
Yeah, that went. That opened up to everybody. What, on Thursday? I think. Or
Yeah, yeah,
Friday?
and ended today. So
Oh,
I
it
did.
ended.
Yeah, it's over today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because when it opened up, I queued it up to download, and I haven't had time to sit back down.
Don't worry, you didn't
Play
miss
it,
much.
so. Oh, now
No, it's
I gotta
I
delete my 12 gig.
yeah, I had fun. I like it. It's definitely going to be a good game. It's definitely Bungie. Holy cow, is it Halo? I mean,
Okay.
the vehicles, like they have so the Fallen. Is it the Fallen? I think
Yeah.
it's the Fallen. So they come in on drop ships, and then the drop ship, like from the front of it, like shoots blue like plasma shots at you, exactly like I mean, it makes you feel like Halo. I'm like, that's the exact same thing as Halo. Shooting
Yeah.
at me, and then your vehicles that you jump on, you're going around. I'm like, this is just like riding a ghost. I'm like, this is Halo, and that's not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. That is definitely not a bad thing. Um, it's it's fun. I like the ranking, and it's definitely going to take off. It's made me wonder, should I get it for the 360 or should I not waste my time, or um, that type of scenario? Because to me, I mean, even that's a console seller, but I'm just not ready for that.
I think you should skip getting it for the 360 and just get that Xbox One
Of course you
that
do.
you're hemming and hawing about. And just get it for the Xbox One and play it this year.
Of course, that's exactly what you should do. But that's really all I did, and we'll talk about it, a little bit more about it later in the round table with some beta talk. But one thing, when I logged in to play, I had a message, and to me, I feel like I have finally made it to the big time.
Really?
And yes, because there's even a shirt. There's even a shirt out there. It's like, when you're good at a game, when you've been basically blamed for cheating. When you've been called a hacker, you know you've made it. So what it was I said I had that 24-hour gaming session,
Right.
and we started playing Battlefield 3 again. And it was the first time I played for months. It took a couple rounds, and I got back up, MVP a couple times and was up toward the top. Well, I got this message. It's like, I shot you 3 times with a sniper rifle, and you pulled out a handgun and shot me from that distance. It's like, you modding, and then bad word. So it's like, I've been called a modding something something. So and then he kind of cursed me out a little bit more. But I was like, I've been called a hacker. I have made it to the big time. So
You're that good.
yes, no,
Rock
I'm
on.
I'm not that good. But yeah, he felt to leave me a voice message on Xbox Live calling
Are
me
you
names.
serious?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Oh, but that's what I was saying. It's like, I feel like I've made it because I play with Soul Assassin 808, member of the community forever. And then I
Yeah.
also play with my buddies at work, and one of them, his name's Local Variable, and he is an excellent pilot. He is lights out, killer pilot. He gets accused of hacking every round he plays. So it's just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm up there with Adam now, or Lost Variable, because it's Lost Variable, sorry. Lost Variable, because I've been called a hacker. So, but yeah, that was my other big thing. But that's it. Mark, what have you been playing? Oh,
Nothing.
he hasn't been playing anything. Well,
Well,
with
he
that,
missed out on Destiny, didn't he?
I don't know, and like I said, we'll talk about it more here in a
Yeah.
little bit about the beta. So, but,
Beta.
yeah, how about the beta? But oh, there was a level 8 cap on the game. Gunny Chef,
That's enough.
Gunny Chief. Oh, sorry. But all right, let's move on. So, Rob, you have it this week.
Hang on.
Uh-oh, I hear audio.
Yeah, I got one of those fantastic IGN ads that just started playing in the middle of my thing here.
But
I've just stopped it.
oh, okay, very good. Oh, great. That's just another check mark on win list.
Hmm.
All right,
So we ready for the news?
it's up to you. It's a short one, so you should definitely be able to make it in the time frame. Ready?
All right, let's do this, or maybe I'll
Stopwatch.
stretch it out really
Stopwatch.
long.
Yep. Ready? Go.
Mark. All right, first up, Titanfall DLC gets a release date. The second map pack hits on July 31st for the PC and Xbox One. Look for the 360 version. We don't know, sometime in the future. Titanfall Frontier's Edge has 3 new maps for the multiplayer shooter there. An isolated mining outpost called Dig Site, a beach resort called Haven, and a mountainside mining hub called Export. It's $10 standalone, or you can have it as part of the season pass, which you probably already have. If you don't have that, the season pass is $25. Moving on, Google buys Twitch for a cool $1 billion. This is something that's been in the rumor mill for a while, at least for a couple months, and looks like it is going down. And I think that since Google owns YouTube, amongst a lot of other things, they can probably say that all your videos belong to us. and looks like they will. News out of San Diego Comic Con confirms The Walking Dead Season 3 from Telltale Games. Most likely, this thing's going to hit sometime next year in 2015, probably late 2015, by my guess, considering that the episode 2 is not yet done. We still have one more episode to go. No news on the characters or storyline, if Clementine is going to continue. We don't even know if she's going to make the end of episode 2, but we shall see. Also, Xbox sales in China start up in September. This is some pretty exciting news, I guess, for the Xbox because there's quite a few people that live in China. This will make the Xbox One the first gaming machine to be officially sold in China since the country lifted its longstanding ban on foreign consoles earlier this year. There's no word yet on price, and I believe that we'll have some details in this coming week or two and exactly what that's going to entail. And then finally, Square Enix has announced the Day One edition of Lords of the Fallen. This is a third-person action RPG. The limited edition version grants pre-order buyers exclusive story DLC, as well as extra weapons in the game's official soundtrack. Those pre-ordering the game through GameStop will receive a free upgrade to the Day One edition while supplies last. The Lords of the Fallen limited edition includes the Monk's Decipher DLC and Demonic Weapons Pack. The latter features 3 items: the Margir daggers, I probably didn't say that right, and this is another one, the Fake Hammer and the Ear Sword. I guess 3 very difficult things to pronounce there.
Yeah.
And that is it for the news this week.
Oh, you mentioned in there.
How'd I do on time?
Good. Stop.
Excellent.
So you're talking about Xbox One opens up in China. I was listening to another podcast and they were saying that based on the time frame of this generation, the current generation, as everybody would like to say, where we're at now compared to where we were last generation,
right?
This generation, both the PS4 and the Xbox One are selling like 80% higher than this time in the life cycle, last generation compared to last generation.
Oh wow! So did the previous generation, did that ramp up slower, or?
Yeah, it didn't take off as fast. And one thing with that is, if you think about last generation, it was really the first online PC-like generation. Because we came from the PS2, which had some online, and the Xbox, which had some online, but with, the 360 and the PS3, it's like very connected and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now people, from that point, since everybody's connected, you're playing with your friends, it's just one of those things like, hey, the new console's out. So it's just bigger. Gaming has gotten so much bigger in the last 8 years. It's crazy. So, But yeah, 80%. Both of them are outselling their predecessor. So it's doing awesome.
Good. That's definitely a good thing.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. So very good news for the gaming world. So, but anything add something before we moved on to our round table?
No, sir. Let's get going.
So one thing in the round table, one piece of news that I had you hold off on is that Battlefield Hardline and Dragon Age Inquisition was delayed. That news came out from EA that 2 major titles previously announced for October releases have been delayed. Now, Battlefield Hardline will no longer release in the year 2014, but an early 2015 window. Visceral and EA decided to push back Battlefield release in order to facilitate player feedback they received during the game's beta.
Okay.
The more they thought about the ideas, they knew they had to get them into the game, and so however that extended that out. Now I'll touch in on this in a minute. Dragon Age, which was originally announced October 7th release, has also been pushed back, but it's only by 1 month. So it's coming out November 18th in North America and the 21st in Europe. So what they said on this was they appreciate the enormous support they received from all of you to get to the point they're at now. And while this is an extra few weeks, might not seem like a lot, they know the game that you'll be playing will be better for the delay.
Right.
So and I'm okay with delays. If they go and they make the game better and they work on it, I would rather have a working game than I would a broken game. So
Oh, for
I
sure.
I don't want another SimCity 5 and I don't want another Battlefield 4. I can guarantee I do not want that. So um,
Right, right.
yeah. So the one thing I'm looking at the Dragon Age or the Battlefield Hardline is I kind of think they're lying on that one. The game's just not ready. And they're being smart about it this time. They are taking the time, but it doesn't take that much time for a little bit of beta feedback. You know what I
Maybe
mean?
like 6 months or
Yeah.
whatever it might turn out to be.
It says early 2015. We don't know. It could be delayed again. And the thing is, if it gets delayed again, then we know, okay, they were lying. It's not just for beta feedback. It's basically, it's bigger problems. It, obviously they can't afford to have another Battlefield 4.
Right.
So, and honestly, since Battlefield Hardline is built on the Battlefield 4 engine, which has just been recently fixed and updated, I'm pretty sure it's not because of the beta. But the reason why I bring up this story, and I started off the round table for this, is I want to discuss with you and people that are in and listening in the stream. If you guys want to type or put some feedback into it, feel free. I'll read it on the show because we have some time to spare on this. But how do we feel about betas? Is the first thing. But then, like, the secondary question is: are games being announced too soon? And when you're taking beta feedback from a beta, let's say Destiny just had their beta. They can take things, they can apply it, they can fix some things that they get from the beta. The game is still releasing, here soon. Hardline's
Right.
beta was what, a month, 2 months back. They put a beta out that was supposed to be for an October release, and now they're delaying. So was the beta good for them? They're saying that they're putting things in from gamer feedback. Now, is that true, or do they have more problems? But I want to know, how do you feel about a beta? And I mean, is a beta a true beta on the console, or is it just like, hey, you get to play the game for free, early for a couple weeks? We're just going to call it a beta so we can
Right.
say, oh, I know there's bugs and thanks for giving us feedback, or but how close is this Destiny beta for them to do a bunch of fixes? But how do you feel about betas?
Oh, overall, um, I think betas can go two different ways. I know based on some of the discussion that we've had over the years with some of the betas that have been out there, I think that a lot of people get kind of a soured view on some of the games just because they don't like what's available in the beta. And it's hard for sometimes for people to remember that a beta is a beta. It's not a full game. It does not need to be representative of what the full game is going to be like. Usually the beta is put out to test, and this is my interpretation, it's put out to test a certain thing that they are trying to proof or to uh, tweak or trying to see if it's usable, because otherwise it would be a demo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, good
So
point. Very good point.
yeah, so a beta needs to be thought of as an unfinished taste of a game that you are playing to help finish the game
Right.
and not demo it in order to be able to decide if you're going to purchase it. I think that's something that is difficult for people to discern sometimes, because I know, even some of us, we've played betas out there and say, okay, I don't like this game. It's not for me. Well, it could be still your type of game, but you just played a part that you didn't care for, and it could have been broken, which
Right.
is why they were testing it.
Yeah.
So, good.
Yeah. Well, it's just I think with the Destiny beta, they had a special thing like, please, if you play between the hours of 2 and 6 p.m. Um, on Saturday, we'll give you a special emblem that you can use. But the whole reason that they did that is so they could stress test their system, because they knew, hey, everybody who is playing, that has the beta, because it's available to everybody. And as soon as everybody heard like, hey, the Destiny beta's available, everybody went and downloaded it, right? Even myself.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I
made
did too.
me
Yeah.
made me go out and play it. And I played during that time because I wanted to get that, but that gave them a stress test on the network and to see how things are running. And Destiny doesn't come out, 2 weeks from now. Like the times that they're like, hey, we're going to do a multiplayer beta, and it's 2 weeks prior to the game coming out, those discs are already pressed in my mind. They're already getting
Yep.
ready. They're in boxes. Like that isn't a beta. That's like you said, a demo. So I think betas are good. Now, this hardline beta that they did, I don't know if that was a beta to test some things, or if that was just a beta that says, let's find out how broken our game is. With EA, it's a little bit
Okay.
different. And I trust Bungie. They've done betas before with Halo. I trust those
Right.
guys. I don't trust EA. So when Destiny's having a beta, I believe it's a true beta. I believe it's there for a purpose. Monkey Punch put in there, everybody should be available. The beta should be available for everybody. There should be no beta codes. Now, you agreed.
Like,
I kind of disagree, because I think the whole codes are there to allow people to kind of trickle in. Because remember,
yeah,
if
it's a
everybody,
gatekeeper.
yeah, it's if everybody piled in at once, that's kind of how they stagger it. They kind of stair step into what, and then all of a sudden they're just like, let's let it loose. So,
Right.
I agree that the beta codes, you shouldn't get beta codes because you pre-order it. You shouldn't get beta codes because you have a PS4 over a Xbox One. Like I believe beta codes should be available to everybody, but I think they should say, through Twitter or some social media, give out beta codes that way, or maybe, if sign up for it and they email it to you. Like I believe that should be allowed, and then they open up to everybody. But I don't believe it should be like, if you pre-order from
Yeah, like
GameStop.
pay to beta.
Yeah, I don't like that. I agree that they should be accessible by everybody. But those codes are really to let people trickle in, or like
Oh
you
yeah.
said, because nobody wants to stress test a network by having 30 million people in your system at one time. So,
Oh
but
yeah. If you get that huge influx of people, it's just going to bring the servers down,
yeah,
and nobody's going to be doing anything. People aren't going to be playing, and you're not going to be testing your game or your
yeah.
servers.
I did find it funny that from the 17th to the 23rd, like the beta was available early for the PS4 people, but it came out, but then it kind of broke the system, and they kind of had to fix some things, and the beta didn't actually really start for the PS4 people until the Xbox One was released for the beta, so they both started at the same day. So that
Okay.
whole early access beta, like they didn't get early access, that actually started, due to issues, it didn't start until everybody else started, which I thought was
Yeah.
kind of funny. But I mean, there's a good example. Maybe it came down because they allowed every PS4 owner, access to it right away. And you're
Oh
looking
yeah.
at what, 12? What are they at? 9, 10 million consoles sold or something like that. I don't know for sure. But yeah, so they
Yeah.
did
It's a
that,
very good.
and then the beta was, they opened it up for everybody, but they didn't get everybody a real big chance. They only gave them like 3 days. They supposedly gave the PS4 and PS3 people 10 days to play it, but you give everybody else who didn't have a code like 3 days. I think that's maybe where Monkey Punch is coming from on that.
Yeah, because
Rob,
there was a big.
are you getting
There
it?
was a big. Oh, Destiny.
Yes.
Um, probably. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play the beta. I wish I would have. So I totally forgot about the beta ending on the 27th.
You like
And
Borderlands?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, you like it then.
Yeah, I forgot that the beta was going to end so quickly. I would have hopefully made some more time to play instead of sleeping
Oh, nice. No,
last
sleep.
night.
Yeah.
So I would have given up at least an hour of my sleep just to get a taste of it. But um, I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, and that's really all I played of, was an hour or so, because I just know that You know, it had the somebody just mentioned it here. I didn't know they had a level 8 cap. You know, you did those 8 levels, but you're gonna have to start all over when the game. So
Yeah.
it's like really putting in too much time getting something cool, and then be like, oh, I lose it, or. But Monkey
Yeah.
Punch Robert here is getting it. I will probably not. If it was out on the PC, I'd get it for day one, but it's not. Wing, I'm pretty sure is going to get it. I'd hate to. Yeah, he's definitely. So, but it is hey, it is a Halo meets Borderlands mix. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. Bungie, you are still my favorite. Like they are one of my favorites. I love those guys there.
They're knocking it out of the park
Oh yeah, this
as
game's
usual.
this game's going to be fantastic. And the one thing is, if the rumors are true that whatever you do in this game is going to carry over to the next one, and they're not releasing a new game every year. But if they kind of build onto that, and all the work you put into it carries over, man, those guys just have it. They just have it. Activision, I don't care for you. You don't have it, but Bungie does. You can put your name on the game, but I know you had nothing to do with it.
Nice.
That just makes me feel good thinking that way. So don't burst my bubble.
Oh
But,
yeah.
So as far as betas, the Destiny beta, that type of beta, I do like. I don't like obviously the two, like what you said. Oh, it's a demo, but we're gonna call it a beta. Give it up. Don't do that. Just call it a demo.
Yeah.
You can just say, hey, this is a beta release demo. If you want to get a quick sneak peek of what you're going to get in a couple weeks, go from there.
Yeah.
But like these guys, I think did it right. And I'd hate to say that the Battlefield Hardline they didn't do it right because their beta was months ahead of time. And maybe that if this whole delay that they are having are things that they found during the beta, so okay, it worked. Maybe that is a good thing. But I just don't trust them like I trust Destiny.
Oh yeah.
But second,
And
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wonder with, let's say with Xbox One in particular, with so much being available out there in the cloud for games to use, I really wonder if we're going to start seeing a lot more of these betas that are really testing the server side of things. I wonder if we're going to see that more frequently moving forward, because that's what I kind of think that Destiny did. They're testing the back end. Titanfall did the same thing, and both of them used a similar type of gatekeeper system, essentially, where they had the codes, and it was limited release, and then all of a sudden more people kept getting them, and then boom, everybody's in there. Everybody's just having a lot of fun. I wonder if this is going to be more common.
I don't know. I've read the things about the whole. It was out around the time that the developers were asking for demos of their games and stuff. Like they're getting those features now where they can put out their game for a demo.
Mhm.
It was people were asking for early access. So, and that's a huge thing going on in the PC world. If you go to, Steam and stuff like that, like you have games like Rust, The Forest, Planetary Annihilation. Those are all early access. So what you do is, most of the time, you buy the game at a discount since you're buying the game early, and you get to play it. But you're playing an alpha. You're playing a beta. It's going to be broken. But you get to play it. The game is there. Sometimes they have server resets. Sometimes they have that. I'm wondering if we're going to get away from this beta and we're going to start getting into early access. So, for example, Battlefield 5 is coming out, and it comes out in January 1st, 2016. But July 1st, 2015, I could buy into the early access of Battlefield 5 for $40 instead of 60. So basically, at that point, I get to play Battlefield 5 for 6 months early access, help them work on it, report bugs, do this and do that. And then when the game releases on January 1st, 2015, everybody else buys it, I don't have to pay for it. I still get to keep the game. I was there from the beginning, and you have this early access. So I'd like to see them move more toward that. I like to see them follow in the PC world. Some people like it, some people don't. Um, but
Yeah,
that's
it's like being paid to test.
yeah, you're giving they're
Yeah,
taking a hit on their profit just to get people in there to play.
right.
But yeah,
Do you
I
have
like that. So
do you have to provide any kind of feedback or anything?
you don't have to, but you do if it's a game that you like. If it's a company, take Destiny here. If they're not auto collecting data on their own, obviously you can go out and like a user voice and stuff like that. You can report bugs and all that. Like
Okay.
I get beta access to Universum when it comes out because I kickstarted those guys.
Oh yeah, I remember that
And
game.
dude, I can't wait for that.
That
So,
looks good.
oh, looks so awesome.
It's like the
So
game on the grapefruit.
yeah, yep. So, and let's see. Monkey Punch says, "Are the people that didn't play Hardline going to play the beta since they delayed it?" I don't know if they'll come out with another beta or not. Monkey Punch. It would probably make sense if they did, if they're supposedly adding features and stuff that came out of the first beta. That would be their next step. If they didn't do that, then I would say I would kind of call them out on it a little bit. Yeah, and Dark Predator says, that sounds like Battlefield 4 beta I bought already. Laugh out loud. Very true. That, talking about that early access stuff, Xbox or Battlefield 4 was broken for 6 months, 6 to 7 months. I mean, it was just nonsense how bad it was. And that's why people were so upset. Um, that was almost like we bought into early access for the game. And if that would have been that way and I would have spent, $40 instead of $120 for it, then yes, I would be all for that.
Yeah, you got to be a full price tester.
Yep. They
Actually,
call
what comes after beta?
nothing.
Nothing.
I thought beta was.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's like the last step before.
well, you have
before it goes
you have your
gold or
RC, you
whatever.
have release candidate, so you have your RCs, but
Okay, so
software
in those
world, I guess.
cases, you bought the release candidate.
Yeah, you have
It's not a finished game.
actually after beta you have like the disc that's being stamped, so it's released to it's RTM. You have your RTM and then your RC, release to manufacturing, release candidate, and then RTM, which is released to manufacturing. So
Yeah,
Charlie comes after. Very nice.
RTFM
He says every time I watch you guys, I always try to click on the Xbox titles. That's pretty funny.
tiles. Yeah,
Oh, tiles. Yeah.
insert
Yeah, yeah.
disc, snap.
Yeah, if you actually click the S on achievements, you actually get an achievement in Twitch. So click on it, let me know if you get it. If you don't get it, just message me and I'll have Rob set it up for you.
Okay,
Yeah, just kidding, by the way.
keep clicking.
Oh, yeah, so just keep clicking on it. So, okay, second part of my thing was
Yeah.
because it comes to this whole beta and then obviously things are getting delayed. Are games getting announced too early?
Well, I don't think they're. I think the announcements happen right when they're planned. I just don't think that the programming side of the whole equation can keep up with marketing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like if it's a yearly franchise, Call of Duty, they always release the information on the next Call of Duty like a week after the current Call of Duty comes out because they have 11 months. They have 11 months before the next one comes out, or they have less than 12 months before the next one comes out.
Yeah.
So, they kind of have to there, but, a year, 2 years. Okay, so let's bust it out this way. Do you think a year before the game is released
Is what?
is too early? Yeah,
Is too early?
Yeah.
It depends on how long they've been working on it.
All right.
Because if it's a title that's been in development for a long time, then I think 1 year is reasonable.
Yeah, and
If it's something that's like not even halfway done, there's no way. I mean, these games just take so long. There's just so much involved in programming. I mean, you should know, Brun, right? It just, if something is super complex and detailed and so forth, it's gonna take a long time.
yeah, and that's a factor. I mean, as a software developer, if my if I'm going to release, like, let's go back to January 1, 2016. If I'm going to release January 1, 2016, and I'm, 80% finished with the game, then I can come out January 1, 2015, and say 1 year from now, or even less, 1 year, hey, we're releasing this game. Here's what it looks like. Here's how it plays. We're going to have a beta in 5 months or 4 months to go through and to stress test, and we're going to take things from that beta, and we're going to do this and that. We're going to release on January 1, 2016. I think that's perfectly fine. Or if they come out that E3, so the E3 prior to when the game's going to come out, I think
Right.
that's a perfect time, because then you have Gamescom and stuff like that. But 2 E3s prior, 3 years prior, that's just nonsense. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So that shouldn't even be. You should never release a game or talk about a game or show a game off 2 years before it comes out. 2 years or more. I mean, 2 years plus is ridiculous.
Yeah. Because it either gets people's hopes up or people just get excited and then forget about it.
Right. Yeah.
So
I
what
mean,
was the point? I mean, other than I could see studios needing to announce, yeah, we're working on something. We didn't just drop off the map.
right. Yeah, but they
I could
don't have
see
to.
that.
But like Destiny, I
Like,
mean, we all knew Bungie was working on something because they made a deal with
yeah,
a 10-year deal with Activision to release a game. But we didn't
okay.
really hear about Destiny until, was it 2 years out that we heard about Destiny, or was it a year out?
I don't remember. I remember we had the videos.
Right. Because there was like a whole thing of like, they kind of slowly sent out pictures and stuff like that, and everybody's like, "What's that? What's the name of the game? What's it going to be?" And then they started showing it off. I thought they started showing it off last year. So the last
I
year at
think that's
E3.
right.
So they showed it out a little over a year, and they showed more during this E3. Um,
Was that at the
but
reveal?
the
At the
reveal at this,
reveal last year?
they showed more of it. I think
All the stuff runs together.
yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. I think they showed gameplay and stuff finally of the game. But it's not like, I'm trying to think of a game that they talked about this year, or that they talked about at this E3, and it was like, here's this new game that's being made. It'll come out sometime in 2015, and here is a CGI trailer for it. And it's just like, if all you have is a CGI trailer for it, and it's sometime in 2015, so you're saying it's a year out, but you don't have anything other than a CGI trailer for it, then it's not coming out in 2015. It's like,
Yeah.
why did you open your mouth? Why did you bother? Because obviously it's not early 2015. So here you are announcing it at this E3 when you can save it to the next E3 and then show it and get people's hopes up and get it hyped, and then you have like 6 months of hype, because I can tell you, you don't need a year and a half, 2 years of hype for somebody to be, going to go buy your game. So
Yeah.
I think it causes more problems announcing early, because then people's like, oh, is it in trouble? Oh, I'm not going to get it. They announced that like 3 years ago, and that you have that. Uh,
You know,
you have that game from Sony that's been. It was shown like in 2007, and it's still not out or something like that. Like, what makes you think that game's going to be good?
this reminds me of one of the, I guess, issues I have with Kickstarter, where like there was this one game that I backed on Kickstarter, and I want to say I backed it 15 months ago, and it still hasn't shipped. So you get caught up in the frenzy of it or in the excitement of the game coming out, and then it just disappears. You don't hear anything. You might get like little blurbs here and there of what's going on, but the game like totally just goes out of out of sight, out of mind. And then eventually when it does come out, they're like, oh, hey, look at this, I totally forgot about this thing. That kind of irks me a little bit. And this is a similar type of thing. It's like you tease a game and then you disappear, you go dark. It's I would almost rather not know about something and then hear about it and then have it soon,
Right.
rather than having that huge gap.
I agree.
So maybe we can call it the Kickstarter phenomenon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've coined a term.
There you go. But all right.
But-
I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to kind of throw around the table, as they say. Thought was.
Sure, good talk.
Yep. Let's see. Next, we can hit our community. So, a couple things for the community. You can email us at contact@thisxboxlife.com. You can hit our Facebook group, which is I think go to Facebook and search for This Xbox Life. You can request to be added, and that comes to us, and then we will add you. We have a Twitter account, and that is twitter.com/thisxboxlife. All our shows are announced. Rob went out before we started our show on Facebook. He announced that the show was starting. I posted on Twitter that the show was starting, and then also I believe when we start our broadcast stream, it also sends out a Twitter announcement for the show. So
Okay.
Twitter is a big thing, and then like Rob, do you have a Twitter account?
I do. I don't use it very much. I do have the Board Game Life one, Board Game Life,
Okay.
that I'm on occasionally.
And I'm BJ Swick 33 on mine, of course. But that's a lot of. I read more Twitter. I don't care for Facebook that much. I mean, the only reason why I have Facebook is because we have our group on there, and I've been trying to just get on it, but every time I get on it, I get bombarded with stupid pictures. So, it's like, hey, check out this funny person trying to smash a pumpkin, and it just drives me nuts. I do more Twitter than anything. So if you tweet me and stuff, I answer all my tweets. And then you can leave a voicemail, which we have a couple coming up, and two voicemails coming up. And go to thisxboxlife.com, and over on the right hand side it says send voicemail. Click on that, and you're off and running. So, and we play them in the show like so. Shrink down a little bit here, get this going. So our first voicemail comes from Michael Lugo, and play that right now. Hopefully it works and you guys can hear it. So Jap and Monkey Punch, let me know if you can hear this.
Hey Xbox Live, I just got a question for you guys. I was wondering, what do you think of Marcus Phoenix collection for the Xbox One? I'm getting a lot of people from YouTube that are trying to supporting it, and trying to get Phil Spencer to actually listen to him and think of actually bringing a HD collection of the first 3 Gears of War. I think it's a pretty good idea. Get the 360 owners that haven't bought an Xbox One actually getting an Xbox One. So let me know what you think about this topic. I think it's a pretty good topic since you're doing a Halo Master Chief collection. So I think this would be a good idea for everybody to check out and think about. I think it'd be a great collection. And a lot of people love that game, so let me know. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Michael. So, Rob basically wants to know, what do we think about a Marcus Phoenix collection, or what would be like a Gears of War HD, similar to what we have for Halo like the Master Chief edition. So we'd have a Marcus Phoenix edition. So it'd be the first three Gears of War and all HD or up-resed or however you want to say, and put on Xbox One.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Because I guess there's a lot of people out there that love Gears.
Yes.
I mean, they just love it. So I'm sure there would be a ton of people that would just pick this up. And it would basically be definitive edition of all of them. They would snap this thing up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And you really don't need to do much new content, really, right?
Mm-mm. No, you don't. I don't think you do. I think it's a good idea. I'm kind of halfway in this boat. I don't want to go overboard with the HD collections. I don't think every single game or series of games should have an HD collection. I do believe the AAAs should, which this one doesn't, is in there. Like Mass Effect, Halo,
Yep.
Gears of War. I do believe all those deserve collections and thrown out on Xbox One. So I do agree. I think this would be a great one to put out like right prior to the next Gears of War. So the very first Gears of War that gets released on the Xbox One. I think this is a great the year before that comes out. So when you're announcing the next Gears of War, you come out and say, and available in 2 weeks is the HD collection.
Oh yeah, replay them again,
play them
caught
all.
up.
Yep, play them all through, get all the way to the end, and then boom, out comes the next one, and you're off and running. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Or even the people that haven't finished them,
Yeah. Oh,
they
yeah.
might purchase them, just to give them an opportunity. Like, hey, I'm gonna play this on my Xbox One. I'm gonna finish it, so I'm ready for the next one.
yeah. I just remember Gears. The first Gears of War was what my buddy showed me when he's like, "Hey, I got the new Xbox 360. Come here and check this game out." And I got to play Gears of War, and I was just like, "I gotta have one of these." Awesome.
You didn't say you're gonna wait until the following year.
Nope.
No, okay,
Nope. That's just the Xbox One. But thank you for bringing that up again.
hey, no problem. I'll bring it up again one more time if I have the opportunity. We'll see.
All right. For our next voicemail, we have Keith, aka Hambone, on Xbox Live. Here is his question.
Hi guys, this is Keith, Xbox Live's Hambone. I appreciate the show you guys put out every week. I know it takes some time and dedication. I get to listen to it while I'm at work, so it definitely helps my workday go by. Thank you again. I'd just like to make a comment from the caller about the 3D. As far as playback for 3D Blu-ray movies on Xbox One, that would just be a firmware update that Microsoft would have to do. If you go to the Xbox feedback website and type in 3D playback, you will find out that there's 5,579 votes for 3D playback. I know some people don't care for 3D, but some of us gamers do care. So any of the listeners, we definitely appreciate anybody that goes on there and votes for it. So hopefully we can get it for the people that do appreciate it. We got to stick together as gamers and support each other. As far as like buying movies, I still buy movies. I just bought the Lego movies. 3D is kind of dead here in the US, but it's very big over in Europe. The Oculus Rift and the Sony Morpheus, they all use stereoscopic 3D, the exact same that 3D TVs use. So again, that's just one of my comments on there. I appreciate your guys' time again. Thank you very much. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. Like we've talked about the 3D thing before, and I'm not a big 3D guy. I don't own a 3D TV, but I did go out there and I put one of my 1,000 votes, I guess, on the xbox.uservoice.com. I think is the for it. I did search that for you and put one of my votes on there for you, which it's coming out. It's coming out in the next release, the playback for it. So hopefully you guys get that and enjoy. For any of you guys, we've mentioned the user voice before on the show. I think it was a news story that Wing did 3-4 episodes ago. Go out there. There's a ton of things out there that you can go out, search, add your own requests, vote things up. And that's how one way that Xbox and Microsoft is listening to its customers. you want an Xbox without Kinect, you don't want this, you want that. You know, if they're listening to you, they're doing it, and they're taking a bunch of heat for it because it seems like they're pulling out of things when they're just listening to what people want. But yeah, so firmware update, I believe it's in what, the August update? The August
Yeah, I
update?
think that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, so you know, Dark Predator in here is saying we're already getting 3D. So now Sony announced they're going to update to support 3D on the PS4 now. They supported 3D in the PS3. My buddy was kind of wondering when they were going to do that, and I feel like they had their hand forced on that.
Copycats.
Yeah, that's yeah, copycats. They had their hands forced on it. Now, if they could have done it all this time and they didn't, I'm kind of curious on why they were sitting on it. You know what I mean? Because they're all about, hey, look what we can do, and you can't. But hey, it's good for everybody, though, right? That's good for him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
he's very happy. So, all right. So that was our our 2 voicemails, and now onto our emails. Keith actually sent in, or Hambone sent in a email afterwards. Do you want to do the email, Rob?
Sure. He wrote. I just wanted to add something small to the voicemail that he left just prior to this. I forgot in the voicemail, games like Gears of War 3, Crisis 2, and Halo CE Anniversary had 3D support and played very well. With that being said, games like COD Black Ops 1 and 2 were very, very bad in 3D.
Yeah, you're gonna
So-
get those good ones and bad ones. It all depends on the
Yeah.
developer and how much time they put into it.
Oh, for sure.
Hey, I'll let you.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and take the next one too?
Okay. Then we've got one from Memphis Nathan 23. He writes in, I first want to thank you for your show. It's very enlightening, and I'm always looking forward to it. I wanted your thoughts on the subject going back a few episodes ago. Is digital ready for prime time? I live in Memphis, where we have a data cap of 300 gig per month. My wife and I don't use cable TV and only use Netflix and Amazon for our television and movie needs. We have been averaging about 200 gigs a month, so we haven't had a problem with the cap until the Xbox One. I just purchased an Xbox along with 3 games. Now I would like to go all digital, but I've already reached my cap on the 20th. Now my question is, with the size of the games, sizes of updates, size of downloadable content, do you think that data caps will in the future kill off digital downloads and gaming, or at the least hinder it? Thanks for the time and congratulations on a great show. What do you think, Brun?
Well, first off, I'd love to know who your cable company is that's throwing a cap on you. I mean, I know other countries like Australia and stuff like that, they have caps. I don't have a cap where I'm at.
Yeah, me either.
I find it strange, but yeah, is it going to hinder it? No, because I think more people in the U.S., for example, do not have a cap compared to a cap. It's kind of rare. Like, that's the first time I've heard somebody having a cap in the U.S.
Yeah, I bet it's one of those smaller companies that can get away with the cap, really, because there is no competition. Because even Comcast, which is the big bad data capper here in the United States, they lifted it a while back, remember?
Yeah.
I mean, it was always in the news.
And, things like, well, net neutrality doesn't really come into data caps. I wish it did, because I wish, net neutrality is a good thing for people that are not aware of that. We don't want a fast lane and a slow lane when it comes to our internet. Everybody should be equal. Everybody should get the fastest. Everybody should be the best. So, yeah, that's strange. Is it ready for prime time? I say yes. I think a lot of people are ready for it. Unfortunately, yes, that is maybe that's where GameStop, as a company, or Best Buy, they let you go buy digital, download it onto a thumb drive, or or any other 100 gig drive or something like that. Take it home. Well, I guess that would be called a disc then.
Yeah.
Yeah, see unfortunately that's where the Xbox came in. It's like, hey, you can install your entire one time off a disc, and then you have the digital version of it or something like that. So there will be ways for you to still play, but unfortunately, maybe you or yourself will not be ready.
I think this is just one of the side effects of being a cord cutter.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't recall if he was exactly a cord cutter based on what he said, but you're going to run into this when you get all your media digitally, especially Netflix, and you're watching it in HD, because we all love HD, and I mean that's how we want to watch it.
Right.
When you watch all your TV shows and your movies through there, and then all of a sudden you're downloading a 50 gig game, I mean that's going to be a big deal. At some point, I think that the data cap business, at least for cable companies here in the United States, it's kind of like the dinosaur way to do it. I mean, it's really old school. I mean, it's not cool to have data caps, knowing that all these people are using the bandwidth. And really, is it really costing them that much money that they have to have bandwidth caps? I don't believe so. That's just all BS. Everybody's got, all these companies have these huge data link connections into the backbones and so forth. It just they're just not getting with the times when they do this.
Yeah, and real quick, I'll say this: if anybody wants to see a really good thing on net neutrality, go watch John Oliver. He has that show on HBO. It's like all the week's news, like today or now or something like that. He does this pretty long skit on net neutrality. It's on YouTube. Go watch it because you'll see what cable companies want and what people like we want, the stuff that we
Right.
want. I mean, can you imagine if the net neutrality stuff doesn't go through, and all of a sudden Google or Twitch or something like that can say, well, if you have Time Warner, you can upload to Twitch at this speed, and you can watch Twitch at this speed down. But if you own Comcast or DirecTV, you can't use Twitch at all because we won't let you upload it. Stuff like that. Can you imagine? The company doing it. And the big companies like Facebook and all those, they are all for net neutrality. The people that don't want it are the cable companies.
Oh yeah.
So,
like I heard something. I mean, just guys kind of go off on a tangent here for what we were talking about. I think it was Comcast and Netflix.
Oh yeah, Comcast and Verizon.
Yeah,
and Verizon.
Or Verizon. Yeah, one of those companies. So Netflix or whoever it was basically like, so they're saying that all their traffic is Netflix, and they're looking to meter them, whatever. And it came out that I think it was Netflix was actually basically saying, we will pay to upgrade your equipment.
Well,
and they won't do it anyway. I mean, they'd rather play victim than to fix whatever issue there is. And I guess the real issue is their interconnect into the backbone. It's not that they don't have the bandwidth, it's just their connection.
Well, the one thing
Or
is,
did I
like,
explain that wrong?
no, I don't recall that. I do recall the part where Comcast was forcing Netflix to pay them money.
Yeah.
For all of the Netflix customers that use Comcast, because what they did is they throttled Netflix. So anything that came for all their customers, they throttled Netflix to say, this is that, and slow them down. And Netflix came out and said, hey, you're slow. Well, this is for Verizon, but they said your slow speed is due to Verizon. They literally put it on the splash screen. They're like, sorry, you are using Verizon. This is why your movie is not playing well. And Verizon got upset about it. But Netflix is paying Comcast and Verizon more money just so they will open up their pipeline to to their customers. So that's what you get. That's that whole fast lane, slow lane. I mean, Facebook would have to pay Time Warner $1 million a year for all the Time Warner customers to get fast Facebook speed, and then everybody else just gets whatever. That's why they're calling it a fast lane, slow lane. But But Monkey
Well,
Punch
good.
is wondering what we think about the Google buying Twitch. For me, I thought it was good because the infrastructure would be there because Twitch is having trouble keeping up with the infrastructure and the rate that they're growing. But a lot of people are just like, oh, great, we're not going to be able to play this music. We're not going to be able to play any copyrighted stuff. And I've heard people's Twitch accounts and channels actually getting shut off due to
Already?
something. I've heard that. I don't know how true it is. I don't believe it until I read it like legit, but that's just hearsay.
Right.
But all right, cool. One thing from Memphis, Nathan 23, and for Keith, thank you very much for your compliments on the show. We appreciate it. We're gonna hopefully continue to keep you happy. But all right, Rob.
All right, retail releases for the coming week for the Xbox 360. We have nothing really to report on the 360 front. Xbox One gets Pinball FX2.
Wingman is jumping up and
This
down.
will make this will make a certain wing buddy very excited.
Will it make him sad or excited because he's gonna have to buy them all again?
Yeah.
So, but
Well, at least he knows which ones he likes.
yeah.
And all future tables will be Xbox One, I'm sure.
True. But
And that's it.
yeah, so Pinball FX2, it's a downloadable game, but if people wanted to buy some retail copies, or toilet paper, or oil for their car, or scissors, or push pins, where can they go?
Yeah. So, for example, if you want to buy contact lens solution
There
or
you
a
go.
contact lens case, or if you'd like to buy toilet paper or cleaning solution along with your games, please go and use the Amazon link on this Xbox Life. That's thisxboxlife.com/Amazon. It'll take you straight there. You can search to your heart's content, purchase all you want, and pay for it yourself, of course. And then we'll get a small, tiny little fraction of that sale. You don't pay anything extra. Just Amazon gets less money, I guess, is one way to look at it. And it helps the show out, and we just turn that back around and give it back to you folks. So please use that. Oh, and when you click on that link, it's good for 24 hours only. So purchase within 24 hours, hopefully just before your purchase, so that you don't click on somebody else's link instead later.
All right.
And yeah.
Somebody walking in the door behind me. All right. So, oh, thank you, Monkey Punch. He bought something today.
Oh, yay.
Very good. For everybody else, we stream here on Twitch, so please follow the stream. Subscribe to the stream, I should say. We posted out to YouTube tonight. It'll be out there tomorrow, so go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Pass it along to your friends. Hit message boards. I don't ask to spam message boards, but if you're a part of a community and they have a general section for podcasts and stuff like that, go in there and mention us. So I'd appreciate it. And then after we're on YouTube, we also push it out to iTunes and all the other Google Play. And do we go out to Google? Correct.
What was that?
Oh, where can you download podcasts besides iTunes?
You can go to our website. You can download it there. And you can also listen in a browser on this xboxlife.com.
Yep. And if you do it from iTunes.
I know some people do that at work.
Cool.
So
And
you don't need a podcatcher or anything.
Yep. Give us 5 stars on iTunes reviews. We'd appreciate it. And Wing will be back next week. Hopefully. We're pretty sure that his plans are to come back next week. So
He'll be all well rested. Or not.
Yeah,
I know he had he had a very busy schedule.
Yeah, I just have a bad feeling he's going to come on, but like the last 2 shows, here are the 15 things that I found wrong with it, and the first 5 minutes is just going to be putting me in my place. So, what can I say?
Yeah.
Shouldn't I get some, founder points or something?
We can call you rookie.
Yeah,
The
I'm
rookie
not.
founder.
Yeah, I'm not taking rookie. Honorary founder. So,
Yes, there you go.
but all right, that's all we have, guys. We appreciate it, and we will catch you next week. Enjoy and have a good one. So I am Brun BJ Swick 33.
And I'm Rob, also known as Presar. Catch you all next week. Thanks for listening, everybody.